The Hegemony Council chamber stretched across 3 kilometers of polished obsidian, its vaulted ceiling disappearing into artificial twilight. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood at the center of the vast space, dwarfed by the towering forms of the galaxy's most powerful species. The Zephyrians loomed like crystalline mountains, their bodies refracting light in hypnotic patterns. The Vorthak delegation hissed through their biomechanical suits, cybernetic implants pulsing with disdain. Above them all, the ancient ethereals floated in their energy cocoons, beings who had transcended physical form millennia ago. The humans wish to speak, rumbled Archon Zixthera, the Zephyrian representative whose voice resonated through the chamber's crystalline acoustics. Laughter, or what passed for it among the various species, rippled through the assembly. The Vorthak clicked their mandibles in amusement, while the ethereal's cocoons flickered with what Sarah recognized as condescension. Sarah adjusted her simple gray suit, acutely aware that she wore no environmental gear, no enhancement technology, no weapons. Just flesh and blood in a room full of gods. Her small human delegation, 3 diplomats from a species barely 2 centuries into spaceflight, faced an empire that had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Yes, Sarah replied, her voice carrying clearly despite its unaugmented nature. We wish to speak about the Thraxian rebellion. The laughter died instantly. The Thraxian sector had been in revolt for 6 months, their mining worlds refusing to deliver the exotic materials that powered the hegemony's vast fleets. What had begun as labor disputes had escalated into open warfare, with entire systems declaring independence. The rebellion will be crushed, stated Supreme Commander Vextar of the Vorthak, his cybernetic eye focusing on Sarah with mechanical precision. Our fleets have already begun orbital bombardments. The rebels will submit or be eradicated. Efficient, Sarah nodded. How many worlds will you need to glass before the others surrender? 10? 20? And how many replacement workers will you conscript from the outer colonies to restore production? The chamber fell silent. These were tactical considerations, not diplomatic ones. You question our methods, primitive? Archon Zixthera's form blazed brighter, casting rainbow shadows across the obsidian floor. I question their effectiveness, Sarah replied calmly. The hegemony has ruled through fear for 10 millennia. But fear, as you've discovered, has diminishing returns. She gestured to the holographic displays surrounding them, showing rebellion spreading across 17 sectors. The Brixian Consortium refuses to trade with you. The aquatic collectives have severed all communication. The synthetic republics have recalled their ambassadors. Your empire isn't facing a rebellion, it's facing a revolution. The ethereal's leader, ancient Nix Valdor, descended slightly, its energy form pulsing with irritation. And what does a species that still wars amongst itself propose? What wisdom can creatures who have existed for mere moments offer to beings who shaped galaxies? Sarah smiled, the first expression she'd shown since entering the chamber. We offer perspective. You see, humans have a unique relationship with rebellion. We've been overthrowing tyrannies for our entire recorded history. Pharaohs, emperors, kings, dictators, we've toppled them all. Not because we're particularly violent, but because we understand something fundamental about power. She began, walking, her steps echoing in the vast space. Power isn't what you can force others to do. Power is what others choose to do for you, and right now your subjects are choosing rebellion. Philosophical nonsense, hissed Commander Vextar. Power flows from superior technology, from superior force. Does it? Sarah stopped before a display showing the Thraxian system. Your technology is indeed superior. Your fleets could crack planets like eggs. But here's what you haven't considered. Every act of overwhelming force you commit is broadcasted across the galaxy. Every world you glass becomes a martyr. Every population you relocate spreads stories of your cruelty. She turned to face the assembled powers. Humans learned something important in our history. Martyrs are more powerful than tyrants. You're not crushing a rebellion. You're creating a legend. The chamber buzzed with uncomfortable energy as the species exchanged rapid communications in their various languages. Sarah waited, watching the realization dawn across alien faces. "What do you propose?" Ancient Nix Valdor asked finally, its voice carrying a note Sarah had never heard from an ethereal before: uncertainty. "Negotiation," Sarah said simply. "Real negotiation. Not demands backed by threats, but genuine dialogue. Address the Thraxians' grievances. Offer them representation in the council. Share the profits of their labor instead of stealing them." "Impossible!" Archon Zix Thara's crystalline form flared. "The hegemony does not negotiate with rebels." "Then the hegemony will fall," Sarah replied without hesitation. "Because every day you refuse to change, your subjects choose to resist. And humans know something else about rebellions. They're contagious." As if summoned by her words, alerts began flooding the chamber's displays. New uprisings on distant worlds, trade routes severed, colonial governors requesting emergency reinforcement. The rebellion was spreading faster than their fleets could respond. "Your subjects aren't rebelling because they're ungrateful," Sarah continued, her voice carrying across the increasingly chaotic chamber. "They're rebelling because they remember what freedom feels like. And once that memory awakens, force becomes powerless against it." Supreme Commander Vextar stepped forward, weapon systems charging. "You speak of memories, human. Perhaps we should ensure your species has no memories to pass on." Sarah didn't flinch. "Threaten us if you want. But remember, we're not your subjects. We're independent. And if you attack us, you'll face something far worse than rebellion. You'll face war with a species that's never known how to surrender." The truth of her words hung in the air like a blade. Humanity had fought every war with desperate ferocity, had chosen death over subjugation in conflicts across their small blue world. The galaxy's powers had studied human military history with fascination and horror. Ancient Nix Valdor's energy form dimmed to a whisper. "What guarantee do we have that negotiation will succeed?" "None," Sarah admitted. "But I can guarantee what will happen if you continue down this path. Your empire will fragment. Your subjects will choose freedom over security, and eventually some ambitious species will exploit the chaos to claim your throne." She gestured to the displays showing the spreading rebellion. "The choice is yours. Evolve or become extinct. Negotiate or be replaced. The galaxy is changing, and you can change with it or be swept away by it." The silence that followed lasted exactly 47 minutes. When it broke, it was Ancient Nix Valdor who spoke first. "We will consider terms." Ambassador Sarah Chen smiled again, knowing that with those words the 10,000-year hegemony had just taken its first step toward becoming something new. The council had laughed at human diplomats, but humans, it turned out, had the last word.